Time for some history, dog.
I'm on.
We got it working finally.
Is
We think so.
Yeah,
This
we're
could
all
all
good.
still go
We're already
This last test.
No, we're tested up,
Already
bruv.
rolling.
We're tested up.
Tested clean.
We think.
Tested to the max.
Sweet.
Like you just came back from the clinic. Like you just picked up your daughter's prescription for testosterone.
Just got tested for test. My test samples on the
You
way
used
to
to
be
go-
tested.
You used to go and get Lydia, didn't you? You ever get
On
that?
Skyrim.
Someone
Yeah. Always. I mean.
people would test for chlamydia and then they get a text back saying like Lydia said.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Wild. Used to get text alerts like, it's alright. Keep fucking.
Imagine you could literally be out on the pool. Clap alert! Clap alert! Ah, your phone's going off like it's fucking social credit score. Lydia, Lydia, no.
Oh man, that'd be absolutely horrific. Suddenly stops working at the bar.
It's reality in China. According to like these weird little YouTube rabbit holes that go down.
They all like sitting in a class with like VR like.
Oh, I've
headsets
seen
and
that
shit
one.
on, yeah.
Snipers on the roof.
If it
Better
was,
learn maths.
did you see the one? Did you see the one with the jaywalking? Someone crosses the road.
Yeah,
in
and
the
then they
wrong
put them
place
up on
and
a
it was big
billboard.
screen.
Oh
It
shit,
is like
that's rude.
bad person.
That is rude.
And they got like
I saw the drones during lockdown.
yeah,
which,
that's the
that was
scariest
creepy.
bit I was about to say.
When they were flying around the skyscrapers, being like, "Yo,
Stop screaming. Screaming isn't helping anyone now, is it? Stay in your homes or you will be sprayed.
that was freaky. That was very freaky."
But who knows what those drones were saying? It might have been a rave.
Yeah.
If you show them a video of us in an escape room being like tortured, game show involving
Yeah.
Westerners dying at the end.
True. So, welcome back to Brothers in History. This week we're looking at the 22nd of November. President Kennedy is assassinated in Dallas, Texas.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Or was
bruv.
he? Dun dun dun. Alien sniper lizards.
1963, baby. That's always a good one.
Yeah, 63 is a good year, bro.
60's fun. We were listening to
Boogie in.
we was listening to a 63 playlist earlier.
Yeah.
Getting us in the vibe.
It's like Christmas music, but it wasn't Christmas. Do you know what I mean? There's
Yeah,
little
I
jingle
get-
bells in the background.
Little bit of Beach Boys,
Yeah, Beach Boys are about.
Temptations.
I got for 63.
No, don't give us that.
No,
give us
let's
some.
do Novembers.
Let's do 62
Give us
first.
give us some birthdays, bruv. Give
Oh,
us
yeah.
some birthdays
For the
for
birthdays. So,
yeah. Birthdays
throwback
for
to
the.
episode 32, actually.
Oh yeah.
Richard Neville, the 16th Earl of Warwick.
Okay.
The Kingmaker, they called him. The richest and wealthiest, most influential English peer.
Nice.
But yeah, he's the most wealthy and influential English peer, is what I meant to say.
Fella.
The Kingmaker, he's the one that flipped from Yorkist to Lancastrian.
Yeah. So we didn't quite get into the full War of Roses and him popping about yet. We did the prelude, didn't we?
It's a little throwback
Yeah.
if you're interested in cool little dudes like that. Mary Queen of Scots,
Nice.
also a November 22nd birthday.
Shit.
She's the King James's second wife.
Not the Bloody Mary.
No, I think she's related quite
Okay.
closely as soon.
Yeah.
Because she also turned down Henry VIII.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
She was like, no, I'm a big girl, but I've got a little neck. She was referencing Anne Boleyn saying, it's easy to kill me, I've got a little neck.
Nice.
When she was beheaded. So she was a bit of a gangster.
Yeah. She's putting up
November
for the girls.
22nd.
She's like full girl team, bruv. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? She's representing.
So she's 1515 and Richard Neville was 1428.
Okay.
That's the birth. Charles de Gaulle.
Who's Charles
So
de Gaulle?
he's actually the Prime Minister President of France.
Oh, really?
He was a general in World War II.
Yeah,
went
yeah.
underground. He was like a bit of a beast.
Shit, he comes up in this week's story, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
so he's like almost assassinated
Yeah.
and fucking busy in North Africa.
Yeah.
Well, JFK's about. Edward Bernays. So he's
Okay.
like the founder of modern propaganda and marketing.
Yeah. I
He's
remember
Freud's
we
cousin.
was talking about him in the Goebbels episode a little
Yeah.
bit, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he his birthday is 1891, but also it's kind of related to this episode.
Go on.
He helped the CIA overthrow Guatemala. Remember
Shit.
United Fruit?
Yeah,
He was involved.
Fuck.
So, allegedly.
Everything from today's episode is pretty much going to be
Yeah.
allegedly.
And talking about FBI and CIA setups,
Go on.
Eugene Stoner, the designer of the AR-15 platform rifle,
Oh shit!
his birthday.
His birthday today.
And we got
What? 11th of November.
Yeah.
Yes.
22nd.
22nd. Sorry.
Catch up, boy.
Sorry.
Living in the past.
I am.
You're remembering too hard, dog. But Rodney Dangerfield,
Shit.
yeah, so
for
when he
real?
was born, he was so ugly the doctor slapped his mother.
Hey.
No respect at all. Jamie Lee Curtis, Mads Mikkelsen, Mark Ruffalo,
Mads Mikkelsen.
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, is it her
They'd all be in
birthday?
films together at this time, sort of thing, innit?
Shit, they have been. I think a few of them.
Yeah, there might be a Marvel set up that's like sort of like that.
They could be down the line for sure.
And Powell, little Tink Tink, Oscar Pistorius.
Oh shit! I thought you meant Cat Williams for a bit. I was like, is it?
No, Oscar Pistorius, who
Is
that
it?
joke's about.
Yeah.
So that's his birthday.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but that bit was before he even shot the place up.
It was.
So now he's even more famous. And changed the game for carbon fibre based life forms.
Changed the game for disabled athletes, bro.
Yeah.
Got them on the map. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like they're just as crazy as the other athletes.
OJ,
This one didn't
check
even
this
have
dude
brain
out.
damage.
So that's our fucking that's a good one. 22nd of November birthdays,
Boris
bro.
Becker as well.
Yeah,
Who?
Boris Becker, the tennis player.
Tennis player.
Oh, is it really? God
Not
damn.
the cool dancer from Instagram, he's sick. Prank dance. It's the
Yeah.
greatest combination of arts I've ever seen.
You just fuck people up and then dance
So
over
it's
them.
like as if he's starting on them and then it's the start of a boogie.
Nice.
Or like he's falling over in the street and then someone helps him up and he's dancing. It's
Oh shit. Nice.
Yeah, that's all I got for birthdays, I think.
Sick. You got any other events happening on the 22nd of November, cuz?
C.S. Lewis died.
No.
What a great Christian he was.
Guess what year?
He was
Yeah, ooh.
48.
Nah.
63.
Oh shit.
Shit! The same year Kennedy died.
The same day.
Same day.
Same day,
Fuck.
dog.
Shit!
So in 1307, this is
Do you reckon he died of like tragic? It was like
It was like heartbroken.
heartbroken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was going to write a fucking book about him.
Yeah. Fuck.
I was gonna write- Even better book now, isn't it? Pope Clement V issued the papal bull
Really?
against the Templars. So episode 5,
Oh
shout out.
shit! To the Knights Templar.
So it's
Yeah.
1307 and our
God
episode
damn.
was 1315. So it's the start of the persecution of the Templars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pope was like, get them,
Get rid
get
of
all
get
their
them now.
properties,
Get them gold.
bring it back.
Make them admit that they jerk each other off. Say that they do gay shit. That's literally what happened, bro.
Worship Muhammad, don't they? Baphomet.
And then they
Talking
all
about
admitted it.
piracy,
Go on.
Royal Navy Lieutenant bumps into Edward Teach, Blackbeard,
Shit. Yeah.
on 1718,
Damn.
November 22nd,
That's a
off the
pretty cool
coast of
date.
North Carolina.
That's a pretty cool date.
And another saily one,
Go on.
Cutty Sark is launched
Okay.
in Dumbarton, Scotland. So
What's
Cutty
Cutty
Sark, that big ship that's in London.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Ah.
So it's like an old,
It's up in Greenwich, isn't it?
yeah,
Oh, nice.
it's a historic ship. I don't have any more notes on that. So let's move on quickly to the Battle of Stalingrad.
What was Stalingrad?
So when the biggest failure of the Nazis basically
Oh, is
during
it?
World
Oh,
War
the Battle
II.
of Stalingrad, did you
Yeah,
say?
so November
Nice.
22nd, 1942, the
Nice.
message got to Adolf that they're surrounded, German Sixth Army is fucked.
Yeah.
They can't take Stalingrad, basically.
I only
so
know
that
this
was a
'cause
big flip in the European theatre.
I think I learned about this first properly in Call of Duty 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the one that first came out with the 360.
That's the one,
That's
yeah.
my favourite World War II history resource.
Reference
And once
it.
they were done, no scoping and grenading each other. It's like, well done, boy. I tell you, you're going to make a great captain one day.
I had to climb over through a window and there was a Nazi waiting on the other side.
I swear there was good actors in that game. That was like the first game where they employed proper actors.
The geezer from Mad Men and L.A. Noire might have even been in it.
And I think someone from Band of Brothers. It was like his
Oh,
exact
really?
character.
Shit.
Almost. Or they ripped it right off and had an impersonator.
Yeah, no doubt.
But 67,
Yeah.
UN Security Council Resolution 242. So that was the Israeli-Arab peace settlement
Oh, what's going good?
in 67.
Yeah, that's going
Done
good.
really well.
That's obviously. I think that's the one that lasted like 3 days. And 1990, Margaret Thatcher steps out of the election.
Oh shit! Really?
So it marks the end of her prime ministership.
Good.
The end of it is 22nd of November.
What a good day. Peace in the Middle East. Maggie Thatcher sits down.
Yeah, not a bad day, really.
You know what I mean? Poor JFK and C.S. Lewis. Feel bad that we're not doing an episode about C.S. Lewis now, if I'm honest. Do you know what I mean?
He can get it next year.
He can. Yeah, I think he should, because, you know, stories of our childhood, lads. When they wheel out the TV in primary school around Christmas time.
Yeah.
And you know it
That
was
right
likely
treat,
to be.
wasn't it?
And his death day has been just like ruined. Like if you're going to have a commemoration,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, and also shout out JFK.
He tried to warn us about the CIA. Nice. That's our events and everything.
Yeah, that's all 22nd of November.
Damn.
Busy day.
Jamie Lee Curtis and what was it? CIA.
We got through that quick. So my timeline I'm going to start with us this week, right, is we're going to first look at John F. Kennedy's presidency.
Yeah.
So we'll just do a quick little thing of that, because there's some key things I think that happened in it that might sort of, you know, point a few things, maybe make you think a certain way. And hey, that's what I'm here to do as a historian.
Maybe give a few reasons to get...
For things.
Yeah,
For certain things, for certain events unfolding. So we got on the 8th of November in 1960, it's election day. It's the day Kennedy defeats Vice President Nixon with 56.4% of the Electoral College and 49.7% of the popular vote. He won one of them, you know, that's how it works. I have not exactly the perfect clue of how it works with American politics with their Electoral College and the popular vote.
Well, what they do if they're losing, they bring a load of extra boxes in.
They
just
find
to
them
make sure
somewhere.
they win.
Yeah. In every election, by the way.
Yeah,
Not just the last one.
Since like the 90s, definitely. Every single one they've claimed, haven't they?
I remember it being about George Bush in Florida.
George Bush, yeah.
There's shit about Kennedy about it.
Yeah.
So I was just about to mention with that. So his dad, the whole swing state in it towards the end was Illinois.
Yeah.
And John F. Kennedy's dad is so much known as a alcohol smuggler, not perhaps during Prohibition times, but just after and just as it was coming towards
the moment
the end.
it became legal, he was already set up somehow.
Yeah, yeah,
Almost like that
exactly.
trading they do these days.
Yeah,
You know, and they all like pump a load
insider
of money
trading
in,
and that.
and then the shares go up through the roof, and they make billions.
Yeah, yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really strange. But so his dad is so much known for that in one of the newer seasons of the Peaky Blinders, Cillian Murphy's character is doing business with John F. Kennedy, Kennedy's dad. That's how much it's fucking popular culturally known. That's where Kennedy and his money comes from.
Yeah, this is that time period as well. Like Jimmy Hoffa, the mafioso.
Yeah.
All that was like the late 50s, early 60s, when they ran Cuba basically before Castro, the mafia.
Yeah,
had
completely.
everything in South, like Miami, all the little districts.
Yeah.
Like the mafia were actually massive.
Yeah, huge.
Still.
So back then as well, like apart from like your average see bad guy in movies and that, there was never ever the idea in popular culture, media, anything like that of a mafia, like a La Cosa Nostra, like as we know it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That wasn't about. It was actually Bobby Kennedy who sort of lets the world know that a mafia exists.
Yeah, so I heard the story is he was like favourable to the mafia on his way up,
so
and
this
then
is
he
what I'm getting to
absolutely
now.
smashed the bollocks
So
out of him.
this is what I'm getting to. Like in Illinois, where Chicago is, this was one of the last states which they were trying to sway over for Kennedy, and it said that this is the state which his father had connections to help him win the state. Yeah. Right? And then obviously that helps him, one of the final states he needs to win the presidency. Yeah. So it's rumoured that there's, mob connections and reasons as to why he got the presidency, right? He gives his inaugural address on the 20th of January 1961, and he appoints his brother Robert, or Bobby Kennedy, as the Attorney General of the US. Bobby Kennedy is Robert Kennedy Jr.'s dad,
Daddy.
who's knocking about now.
I want to say to the American people. It's fuck the Kennedy voice. He used to be like the mayor from The Simpsons, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
All the Kennedys agree in agreement. No, it's
I think
damn vaccines.
that's it. Like that just happened to him as he got older and shit.
He smoked too much weed, bro. Everyone knows it. He's them swole body beach dudes. He just smokes ganja and does press ups at the beach.
I do love.
Too many bongs.
Is it strange,
Fucks with the
or is
man.
it just awesome that he's big in the conspiracies of it all as well?
Yeah.
Does it make it weirder, or does
Yeah,
it
it's
make
like-
it a part of a?
Almost like he's nodding his head to it all, as if like...
Do you know what I mean? No, he
Yeah.
admits. He says like I remember people talking about.
If you want to go full Alex Jones on it,
yeah.
he's like a plant, isn't he?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he's
yeah, I've heard
against
this, yeah.
all the modern things. So Pfizer, all that, they can fuck off everything.
Yeah.
We've got a new one that everyone in the entire world is signed up to. There's only one, and it can't be corrupted. Next thing, boom, environment. We
Yeah.
can do it like this, and there's only one way to do
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
He might be that plant.
Oh, is he a bit of that plant? If you go
Because he is a life Democrat, and he is part of this
course.
fucking political family that's existed for like
first-
basically 100 years now.
Oh yeah, yeah, completely. They're all like all the presidents and all that. They're all
Yeah.
connected and related, and all at the same dinner parties and everything. Like
Yeah.
they're all one
I
big
do like
happy
him
gang.
though, as a person. He seems pretty cool.
Who? Robert F.
Yeah, he's a pigeon man.
He is a pigeon man. Swole beach body man.
Yep. Swole, yeah. Hot wife, swole, pigeon. What more could you want out of a dude?
Do you know?
That could be a bro. Do you know what I mean? He's like if Hulk Hogan wasn't an egomaniac.
Yeah.
Never took to wrestling, just took to pigeons. He's just chill and swole.
So after Robert Kennedy, as Attorney General, right, he pursued a relentless crusade against the organised crime and the mafia. So this is exactly what we were talking about. This is about
Do you fucking believe this guy? You fucking believe him breaking our balls?
exactly. He literally just got in power with them, and then let the world know that they existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were the secret back then.
Yeah.
They were running shit. And then Bobby Kennedy comes out after getting power and be like, there's some guys, you know.
Yeah. Real bad guys.
It's horrible. It, like that is pretty much given as the reason, because obviously Bobby Kennedy gets shot as
Yep.
well down the line. So that is
Yeah,
also
but that one makes more sense. JFK seems kind of cool.
yeah.
There was his brother that was like
The mob.
fucking Fredo.
But like, so that pretty much becomes part of the official story,
Yeah.
and the reason given to us as the public is why John F. Kennedy is shot.
Why he might have pissed some people off.
Yeah, and that's the main. A lot of some fingers pointed to Fidel as well at one point, but Fidel was apparently the news he got the night. He was doing an interview with a French reporter, and apparently he got really fucking like saddened and shit about it, and he was like, "This is a very bad thing that's happened to the world that he's just been assassinated."
Was
It's
he
a very
crying on
bad
TV
thing.
like Matt Hancock did?
And the
Fidel's too
CIA had
macho
been
for
trying
that.
to get Castro for years as
Oh,
well.
yeah,
He
yeah.
was the unassassinatable one, so imagine how that felt. Like he's dodging assassinations, he knows they're real.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
day of his life. And then
Yeah.
he's like, fuck.
yeah.
He must have not checked his 6.
Didn't like Fidel. I swear seen an interview with the actual chick. Fidel had an assassin sent over for him as
Yeah,
a
and then
chick.
seduced her.
And seduced her, and
He
she
was
like
a
fell in
dude.
love with him and shit like that.
And he fucked Trudeau's mum. He could be Trudeau's
Yeah,
dad.
yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen that
that's a
one.
mad
I've
one.
seen that
But like,
one.
yeah, she went over as a reporter or something, and then she ended up living in the palace and getting
Yeah.
her fancy new dresses.
Yeah. She got one over by Fidel, bro.
I bet he could dance. But they'd be living like a big cold like prison basically, because it's all communist like, privacy and that. You're the only journalist you can't have outside communications. They're living in a prison sort of thing together. Like that film where they're living in space and he falls in love with the robot.
Yeah.
It's like that.
It's like,
But he can Cuban dance. One night he comes out like Beauty and the Beast and he's actually chill. Nah. Fucking
the beast
them
part
all
is that
down.
he just stinks of cigars.
Yeah.
And he's slaughtering millions of people.
Yeah, and
starving
he's
them.
got like that dad bod already.
Yeah,
Like, he's got, like,
yeah.
Rug
And
chest.
Of course, and he's hairy because he's fucking Cuban,
Cuban.
bro.
Did they, not
fuck.
did they not try and kill him with a cigar once?
Yeah,
Did
the
you hear about
explosive
that?
cigar.
Explosive cigar.
Yeah.
The guy
I'm sure
was
they
too
did.
Christian to go through with it.
Really?
Yeah, so like he was like called up for the assassination basically. This is why they had to use the mafia
Yeah.
to try and get into Cuba
Yeah.
and get mafia assassins. But yeah, the CIA guy and the FBI, whoever he was like, he was like, I'm a Christian man, I'm by no means a saint, but I can't condone murder. That's what he's reported as saying.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so you see
I
it
thought he
as a
just-
murder, not like a war sort of thing where it's a proper death.
Damn.
I thought he just like smoked all the explosive in the cigar and it just never done it.
Yeah, he just had iron lung. Next, I like this one. And the chicks are like, ooh.
So we got after the whole mafia situation goes on and Bobby Kennedy trashing all of that, sort of during all of that as well, because that pretty much is Bobby Kennedy's career. One of the first big incidents, which may have been a bit of a signal during Kennedy's career, actually kind of happened before Kennedy's career. It was
Bay of Pigs.
Before Bay of Pigs. Before Bay of Pigs, there's another one.
That was mafia related.
So what it is, before he was actually even elected, there was some shit popping off over in the Congo, bruv.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's this guy named Patrice Lumumba. President Patrice Lumumba.
Mm.
Right. And it's actually who Patrice O'Neill is named after.
Oh, nice. Shout out Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking good one.
Dangerfield's birthday.
Yeah,
Two of the
nice.
fucking big dogs.
Nice. And the CIA actually ended up supporting this coup of this president, and they helped capture him over in the Congo. But Kennedy, before he was even in power, during his electoral campaign, was sort of saying that he supports this President Patrice.
Yeah.
And 2 days before Kennedy was sworn in as president, the CIA handed over President Patrice Lumumba to the enemies inside his country.
Oh, fuck.
And they executed him.
That's a fucking coup and a half.
So-
It is the age of coups as well.
Yeah.
The 60s, the early 60s.
This is the
And
CIA are
independences.
whiling during this time, bro. So yeah, that's one of the big incidents that happens. And then exactly the one you just mentioned, that comes up next, right? After that, we get the Bay of Pigs. So the Bay of Pigs we've got is... where have I got my fucking notes on that? The United States sponsors an invasion of Cuba with anti-Castro Cuban exiles trained by the CIA to reduce the explicit linkage with US military assistance. So basically they trained a bunch of fucking ex-Cubans who hated Castro to go back into Cuba and fuck some shit up.
Yeah.
Now the CIA organised this. They let Kennedy know about it. He knew about it but didn't like it, and the whole time they were like, we need US soldier support. Apparently he was like, nah, I'm not about that.
Yeah.
No US soldier is stepping foot. The CIA knew it would fail without that and kept trying to goad it on, but Kennedy was like real hot and secure about it. So they let it go on, and exactly that, it was a massive failure.
Yeah.
But Kennedy stood by his word. There was no fucking US troops or US soldier intervention, not even a fucking airstrike. None of that. And the Bay of Pig incident causes friction between the CIA and JFK after that.
Yeah, they've basically been rogue all the way through the 50s. All like supported. So then when he come in, nothing changed.
That's
so
it.
Then it's like, what are you doing here, bro?
Yeah,
We're the president.
That's it, exactly that. So
that's why they didn't like it's because the intelligence community knew about the La Cosa Nostra, the mafia, the big crime groups, and used them to their advantage this whole time.
Totally.
Because Bobby was the first one to come out and like mention it.
Yeah, and tell the whole world about it. So of course, like the CIA and the FBI knew about these fucking organisations. Like exactly like you said, they've been using them probably as a backhand, as a fucking black hand. Do you know what I mean? Like a Ninja Turtle squad.
Yeah, exactly that. Like how they use incels now.
Yeah, exactly.
Made some banging movies though, innit? Mafia movies, gangster movies.
Yeah, fair.
That's what I was
imagine
about to
if we
say.
didn't know about it.
Yeah, imagine Bobby never come out and we still didn't know. There'd be no Goodfellas, there'd be no Godfather.
It's true, Martin Scorsese would be fucked, wouldn't he?
Yeah, well, he'd be fucking selling fruit in an alley.
So, after the Bay of Pigs incident, in private apparently...
Just thought of a better punchline. He'd be doing fucking fish films for Will Smith.
Nice. After the Bay of Pigs incident, apparently in private, JFK used to would swear that he's going to splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces and scatter it into the winds.
That sort of talk never gets you anywhere. That's usually what happens to fragments of your skull.
After all that, he didn't splinter it.
And what happened?
Instead, he transferred the power of the CIA to the Department of Defense under close supervision and control of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, which would also report on CIA plans and operations directly to the president. So after that, the CIA had to just start fucking directing to him. And the director of the CIA at the time, Alan Dulles, remember this name, He's dismissed.
Dallas. It's all coming together.
Alan Dulles. He's dismissed as the head director. His brother at one point as well during Hoover's administration was also like the Minister of Defence as well. And they used to fucking just run rings together, bruv, around the whole government. But anyway, this Alan Dulles geezer, he's dismissed after the Bay of Pigs.
Does he make an appearance sometime later, does he?
He does.
He's just in town for no reason.
He gets fired, obviously. And there's another thing that Alan Dulles, I haven't got this exactly in the timeline, but there's another thing he did during JFK's time as president.
Yeah.
There was during this time there was a little French military coup going on. Who was that French president you mentioned earlier?
Charles de Gaulle.
Yeah.
So they tried to stop him from giving up on Algeria, basically.
That's it.
So like the Foreign Legion was still fighting over there, but by 62, 63, he was pulling out of Algeria altogether.
That's it.
And giving them independence.
So the military tried a coup on him for that, didn't they?
Yeah.
That coup was backed by the CIA.
Yeah.
Nice.
President Kennedy didn't support that coup. President Kennedy reportedly had to tell the French ambassador, I do not support this at all. I'm in full support of the French president, but I'm not in full control, though, of my government. I'm not in control of what the CIA do, and I can't speak on what's happening over there.
Wild fucking
So he's
times.
basically admitting that he's just a puppet.
Well, he's just saying that the CIA I've got no control of. They do what they want. They run wild, bruv.
Yeah, that's it.
And
they
Dulles
still
was in
do,
power
really.
while that was going on.
Yeah.
That thing after the Bay of Pigs is one of the things which, that the Bay of the Pigs was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
The Patrice thing had happened.
Yeah.
This French thing had happened. And the Bay of Pigs happened, bruv.
Yeah. They're fucking just running rampant.
Yeah, they're
Like,
going.
CIA can't be stopped. This is like because this is what is it? James Bond's Dr. No's just coming out and that.
Oh, is it
It's
really?
Like that sort of world of spies.
Oh, is it?
That old
I've
school
never.
switching over to the new school.
I haven't really watched any of the old James Bonds, but is it that sort of vibes then, bruv, on this one?
I'm guessing so. Everyone's got cigarette holders and tuxedos.
They're all listening to Beach Boys though and Temptations.
Yes, they're just switching over to like covert fucking international shit
Yeah, I get you, bro.
after being like World War II spies.
So yeah, that was Alan Dulles' CIA, and JFK gets rid of the fuck of
He's
that.
got a
bro.
pretty good CV, that Dulles, isn't he?
Yeah. After that, April 27th, 1961, the President gives a speech. JFK gives a very, very, very famous speech, and I thought I'll just play not a lot of it, bruv, not a lot of it, but there's part of the speech I just think's quite important, and I think should be played. So I'm just going to play it. I'll play it over the mic. It'll be an easy one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control.
Gangster shit.
Yeah.
So,
Didn't he fuck up and then be like, oh yeah, and we'll go to the moon, and then no one spoke about the first half of the speech?
so that's another speech that comes later on. That speech there was given to the press, addressed before the American Newspaper Publishers Association on the April 27th, 1961. Now I think about what he had just done. What was the key thing I said he had just done before that? Just shut down that dude's CIA,
Yeah.
and then gives that speech to the press.
Yeah.
That's a pretty fucking big balls move,
Yeah,
bruv.
so kick to the balls to them, innit?
Yeah, that's a big balls move, geezer. On the 25th of May is the speech you're talking about, bruv, 1961. It's called The Special Message to the Congress on Urgent National Needs. And he talks a lot about going to the moon and sending the man to the moon in that. So when you look up that and you look for audio of that,
Yeah.
It's all you
comes
fucking
up.
find.
Yeah,
And it's the first thing that comes up about it. But I got a bit of the speech, which I thought was quite interesting. It's a bit wordy, but I think it's important.
Yeah.
So, the great battleground for the defence and expansion of freedom today is the whole southern half of the globe. Asian, Latin America, Africa and the Middle East, the lands of the rising people. Their revolution is the greatest in human history. They seek an end to injustice, tyranny and exploitation. More than an end, they seek a beginning. And theirs is a revolution which we would support, regardless of the Cold War, and regardless of which political or economic route they should choose to freedom. He doesn't care if they're a commie, bruv.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck.
And it's during the time of the civil rights movement as well.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
So
that's
all
coming
these-
up, yeah.
So this is like fucking one of the great speeches, like the speechwriters, the last great speechwriters, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Before it was all controlled and sanctioned.
And just like,
MLK speeches, 63.
yeah, that's
62.
happening around about the same time. All of this, like, this speech as well, for a US president, especially during that time, during the Cold War, just being like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
People, we're
It's
living
like
in a
he got
time of...
into presidency and wasn't expecting it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he didn't... Like, do you know how they get the fucking file on the first day? Like, here's all the classified shit. You're supposed to know. Don't say nothing against any of this. And you're like, oh, fuck.
yeah.
Like, everyone seems to have been done like that, but he never got the memo.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like, can you believe there's a fucking mafia? Can you believe there's a CIA? We're fucking doing criminal shit all around the world. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, peace among all people. And everyone's like, what the fuck?
yeah, exactly that, bruv. For the adversaries of freedom did not create the revolution, nor did they create the conditions which they compel it. So think about that. For the adversaries of freedom, the people who don't want these people to have this freedom, did not create the revolution. This isn't fucking CIA made like a lot of fucking shit nowadays. Nor did they create the conditions which compel it. But they are seeking to ride the crest of its wave, to capture it for themselves.
Oh, Arab Spring.
Yet their aggression is more often concealed than open. They have fired no missiles, and their troops are seldom seen. They send arms, agitators, aid, technicians and propaganda to every troubled area. But where fighting is required, it is usually done by others, by guerrillas striking at night, by assassins striking alone, assassins who have taken the lives of 4,000 civil officers in the last 12 months in Vietnam alone, by subservious and saboteurs and insurrectionists who in some cases control whole areas inside of independent nations.
Mate. Geezer.
At this point, the following...
And actually, here's a good one. I just remembered.
Go on.
22nd of November, the Orange Revolution starts in Ukraine.
Does it?
Yeah,
Oh, fucking hell.
2006, is it?
Fucking hell. That's a date in history, isn't it, bro?
I just want to pick up on one little word he said in there: soul assassinations.
Yeah.
Soul assassins or whatever it was he said.
By
Solitary
assassins, by
or something.
by guerrillas striking at night, assassins striking alone.
That's it. Assassin striking alone.
Yeah.
Remember
At this point, the following paragraph, which appears in the text as signed and transmitted to the Senate and House of Representatives, was not omitted in the reading of the passage.
So it's not actually on the record in the Congress?
So I'm not sure if it
Whatever
means
it's
that or if it was handed in written and wasn't said.
Ah, right.
I'm not sure if it means... So at this point, the following paragraph, which appears in the text as signed and transmitted to the Senate...
Right, yeah.
and
They
House of
didn't read it
Representatives was admitted in the reading of the message, it was admitted in the reading of the message, So, they possess a powerful intercontinental striking force, large forces for conventional war, a well-trained underground in nearly every country, the power to conscript talent and manpower for any purpose, the capacity for quick decisions, a closed society without dissent, of free information, and long experience in the techniques of violence and subversion. They make most of their scientific successes, their economic progress, and their pose as a foe of colonialism and friend of popular revolution. They prey on unstable or unpopular governments, unsealed or unknown boundaries, unfilled hopes, convulsive change, massive poverty, illiteracy, unrest, and frustration. With these formidable weapons, the adversaries of freedom plan to consolidate their territory, to exploit, to control, and to finally destroy the hopes of the world's newest nations.
Fucking hell.
This is a speech he gave, bruv. The speech he's given to...
Well, that wasn't given.
that part, yeah. The special message to the Congress on urgent national needs, bruv.
He was like literally ringing the fire alarm, bro.
Yeah.
He was trying to drain the swamp.
Yeah, 100%, bruv. He was telling everyone they was in a swamp,
Yeah.
and a lot of them were like, we know.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, bruv. Swamp's cozy.
Eat my swamp.
Yeah. After that, we have the 17th of, I think it's July. When's the 8th? August. Cheers. 17th of August. East Germany begins construction of the Berlin Wall in order to prevent mass defections from Soviet-controlled East Berlin to West Berlin. JFK decides to send Vice President Johnson to visit Berlin. He warns the Soviet Union that its support of the construction of the Berlin Wall will be viewed as an aggressive act. 24th of August, Bobby Kennedy worked to secure the passage of anti-racketeering legislation, Wires Act, Travel Act, and Interstate Transportation of Paraphernalia Act to prohibit interstate gambling. The Federal Wire Act specifically targeted the use of wire communications and sought to disrupt the mafia's gambling operations. Convictions against organised crime figures rose by 800% during this term.
Can you fucking believe this guy?
800% on the mafia, bruv.
Fuck
That's
me.
how much they didn't know about organised crime before Bobby K, bruv.
Yeah. I bet the police had to up their game a bit.
Just
I
a
bet
bit,
it was
bruv.
just one of them pissed him off once. Do you know what I mean?
Like, took
Because he
his
grew
girl
up
at
in
the
the
club.
gang life because
Yeah,
his
yeah.
dad was a fucking moonshiner.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's some Italian spat on his shoe or something at one point. He's like, we'll see. We're going to fucking see. You wait right here.
Yeah, man,
Told him to go get his fucking shine box, bro. Go get your moonshine box, it meant back in the day.
yeah, the overtime on the police force must have been fucking...
Oh,
boy,
man.
they're creaming it.
Yeah.
Or the police unions taking over the fucking old school mafia unions.
Yeah,
Like the-
that's it, bruv. Fucking hell. It must have been a time.
Yeah.
mate.
Absolute wild time. Just
And
watching society, this like fucking shiny thing crumble down.
Yeah.
But also, just like one day you were stealing cars for the mafia, now you've jumped up 12 positions.
Yeah.
You've just got a captaincy.
Yeah,
and you've
yeah,
just got to
yeah.
keep it fucking quiet.
Just because Bobby Kennedy's about, so you got to keep it fucking...
Yeah, so like these were the new generation of monsters
Yeah.
were being born.
So we got after that, we got the 5th of October, 1961. JFK announces progress with the voluntary desegregation of schools. So like we spoke about earlier,
Yeah.
it's the civil rights moment.
Yeah.
JFK's the dude who's bringing the Civil Rights Movement Act stuff in.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how
so-
much of a boy he is, bruv. Not only is he talking out in the CIA, he's finally being like, guys, you got to fucking segregate.
Yeah.
Desegregate.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the opportunity for people that are just like to do it before it's law sort of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then he started working on...
He goes a lot
civil
more
rights
into it,
laws.
like exactly that. Starts going into a lot more with the actual law. On the 3rd of February 1962, by proclamation, places an embargo on Cuba.
Okay.
Yeah. 19th of May 1962, Marilyn Monroe sings "Happy Birthday" to the president at a celebration in Madison Square Garden. His actual birthday is 10 days earlier. But yeah, we all know that famous video.
Yeah.
We know how much him and his brother fucked around that poor lady. Bad. Bad. And I'm sure the CIA were involved there too.
Was
Oh,
this
yeah.
about the time that he announced that he was going to Dallas?
No, he hasn't announced he's going to Dallas yet. He's
No.
not going to Dallas till next year.
Next year, sorry, yeah. Wrong year.
22nd of October 1962, report to the American people on the Soviet arms build-up in Cuba. He gives a televised speech, reveals that he received unmistakable evidence of offensive missile sites in Cuba. He accuses the Soviets of deliberate deception and announces that a strict quarantine on shipping offensive weapons to Cuba. So I'm sure you guys know what this is going to lead to.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
23rd of October 1962, by proclamation, orders the military to interdict offensive weapons and associated materials to Cuba. This begins the Cuban Missile Crisis, a period of high-stakes negotiations that veers close to nuclear war.
Fuck.
And
Do
then
you
the
know in,
X-Men turn up.
Yeah.
So what happened is basically a load of Russian ships carrying nuclear shit. Went to Cuba. Kennedy was like, I'm
X-Men
not having
turned
that.
up. Send the X-Men.
That's it. The US ships turn up. Russian ships facing US ships right near Cuba. Everyone's freaking out. Nuclear war's about to break off. But then the X-Men turn up and fucking save the day.
Yeah.
So,
That's exactly how it went down.
yeah.
Do you reckon that's
Did you
closest
know-
we've come still?
Do you reckon it's the closest we've come to nuclear war?
Yeah.
No.
You reckon there's been close
Aliens
times?
stop it every day. Everyone wants to go.
I think probably the most well-known closest. Like there's been other. It's kept behind closed doors.
I think there's one where it nearly happened because there was a malfunction.
Oh, so
Yeah, like someone.
Over West Germany.
Yeah.
There was like a balloon release, and that triggered all the weapons responses. They didn't know what it was.
That was the 99,
99 red balloons.
Red balloons come from. Yeah.
Is that what it is? There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then everyone freaked out, and then they were
There's been a couple of those.
Yeah.
There's been ones where people are like, no. Like the army will call it in, like, no, it's fucking time now, and he's like, nah.
No. Well, fucking tops to that fella. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, Cuban Missile Crisis. That's pretty shitty. After that, on the 28th of October, so finally got that shit sorted. There's a statement following Soviets' decision to remove missiles from Cuba.
Nice.
Thank fuck for that. Thanks, X-Men. Everyone's fucking stopped sweating bullets.
Did you know as well, 62 is when Fidel got excommunicated from the Catholic Church.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that happened to him.
Yeah.
I bet he was gutted about that.
Proper, what is it? John the 24th, 25th?
Yeah.
Pope John?
I bet he was well gutted about that.
Yeah.
Poor fella.
His Pope's changed, I think, the year after as well.
Oh, really?
The whole world changed. CIA were like, no, we are the president.
And the Pope.
20...
Well, yes,
Damn.
if you're talking assassination, it's either Jesuits or CIA.
Usually one of the two. 20th of November 1962, in a news conference, JFK announces that the Cuban blockade is lifted. So, all of that
Cuban embargo.
Fucking sorted all of that for a bit. 1963. Let's move into that year, bro. 3rd of April 1963 is a Birmingham campaign. Do you know much about the Birmingham campaign?
Is that Martin Luther King?
So yeah, Southern Christian
Letters from Birmingham jail and all that.
Southern Christian Leadership Conference begins a campaign to promote the integration of public facilities in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
So this is Martin Luther King getting arrested for demonstrating, and he writes his famous letters from Birmingham jail.
Yeah.
And he's sort of like pleading on what is part of it to JFK and the world, pretty much, man.
Same year, Malcolm X made his historic speech at the Grassroots.
Is it the same year?
Grassroots Project, yeah.
Oh shit!
So they were like the two binaries.
Of course. Well, again, talking X-Men, Professor X and fucking Magneto.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, literally. I think that's where Thingy said that he got the inspiration from.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because he's alive. He's inventing superheroes right now.
Yeah, Spider-Man's
He's just made Spider-Man and the Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure this is where he said the actual inspiration for the X-Men comes from, of
Sick.
Magneto and Charles Xavier, is Malcolm X and MLK.
Oh, yeah, I had loads of things for 63, actually.
Yeah, go on.
I think Sonny Liston knocked out Floyd Patterson.
God damn.
Campbell's Soup, the Andy
Warhol.
Warhol painting.
Yeah. There you
All that,
go,
that's
bruv.
popping off. The Beatles, the Rolling Stones, they've just released their singles.
C63 is popping.
The world
JFK
has
fucking
just changed, literally.
ruined the party, didn't he?
He was still popping.
God damn.
Great Train Robbery is 63.
Yeah, fucking hell. So yeah, there's also 2 bombings in Birmingham. Not soon after
that church, wasn't it? The English
MLK's
church.
Birmingham jail letters as well. So, you know, on the 13th of May, JFK's got no choice, bruv. He sends federal troops to Birmingham, Alabama, following Dr. Martin Luther King's civil rights campaign in the city.
Yeah, the same year as I Have a Dream speech, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
All going on.
It is all going on, bruv. On the 10th of June, he delivers a commencement address at American University. He talks about him wanting to ban nukes, which is fucking wild for back then.
Yeah.
Everyone's freaking out about that.
And this is like the end of nuclear testing. 62, 63 is like the last years they ever had atmospheric testing.
Yep.
They didn't do it anymore, especially like it was Hawaii and Nevada.
Yep.
It was like those last ones.
The next day on the 11th in June, through executive orders. So the presidents only get a couple of them. I think they get like one a term.
Oh, is it?
A couple of them a term. Oh, no. It's like... Yeah, I can't remember what it is. They only get a few of them.
Oh, okay. They are rare. You're not supposed to use them.
Yeah, you're not...
Biden used them all up.
Yeah, he did on his first day.
Yeah.
Through executive orders, he directs the Secretary of Defense to ensure the integration of the University of Alabama.
So fucking... It's like... What's his name?
What's that?
Forrest Gump days.
Yeah. That's it, bruv. He's like, making people be like, no, you've got to fucking integrate. Right, you're not integrating, send in the military, point some machine guns and some hillbillies, make them integrate.
If he was a real thinker, he'd be like, look at these boys play a bit of that football.
When
look
is Remember
at
the
the
Titans?
size of Jamal here.
When is Remember the Titans? Is Kennedy president during that?
Oh, fuck, maybe.
He must be,
Yeah.
right?
When is Remember the
When
Titans
is Remember
set?
the Titans set? And that is Alabama as well, isn't it?
Is that Bama? Bama's now known for having massive black players.
Well, Bama is...
Roll, Tide, roll.
The University of Bama is where he sends the Secretary of Defence to ensure the integration.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Remember the Titans.
This might actually be Remember the Titans.
Yeah, this incident might actually be Remembering the Titans right now, bruv. And I'm glad that we are, because they need remembering, bruv. You a fan of that movie, Ross?
I think you know me in movies.
Oh yeah, you're terrible with movies, aren't you, cuz? Absolutely terrible. Keep looking up Remembering the Titans. On the 11th of
I definitely don't.
June, he denounces segregation and promotes equality in an address to the American people on civil rights. We face, therefore, a moral crisis as a country and as a people. It cannot be met by repressive police action. It cannot be left to increase demonstrations in the streets. It cannot be quieted by token moves or talk. It is a time to act in the Congress. So he's shouting it out. He's saying we got to get this shit done.
Yeah.
We got to get this shit sorted. After that, he goes on a bit of a European tour. He visits West Berlin, and this is on the 26th of June, 1963, is when he does his famous Ich bin ein Berliner speech, which basically means I'm a sausage, apparently.
Yeah. Or a donut.
Yeah, or a donut, something like that. I can't remember. I was in...
it's like we have London cheesecake or something like that.
Yeah.
Like the Berlin treats are called Berliners.
Yeah.
So like, if you go to the pastry shop, I have a Berliner, and it's a certain pastry. If you go to the sausage place, I have the Berliner, and it's a hot dog.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just meant like that.
Yeah, so like I didn't quite fucking get it at all. So when I was in Berlin with the missus, she understand it and knew it completely. Yeah. And I was like, I love how they dig JFK over him so much. What's it all about? I'm like, this fucking dope. There's fucking stuff of him saying, Ich bin Berliner. Everyone, I'm like, yeah, boy, you know what I mean? Go on, JFK. They love him.
Oh, how bad is this, right?
And then she told me the joke, and I was like, I'm a retard, aren't I? I'm as retarded as JFK, bro.
I've just found out that Remember the Titans is set in Virginia in 1971. 71, bro.
8 years after Kennedy's forcing him by gun.
Yeah. What?
Fuck, that's too late, bro. That's too late. They needed to have sorted that out sooner.
No wonder Bamaro's had the edge.
Fuck, they needed to have fixed that sooner. A lot sooner. Oh, god damn. On the 28th of 28th of August, he gets a statement about the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. So, like, that's the African American March by Martin Luther King when he gave the I Have a Dream speech. So JFK made a statement on that. He said, good dream.
Nice dream, bro.
Nice dream, bro.
And he also toasted Haile Selassie at dinner.
He did.
Yeah, he went to lunch in Maryland with him, I think.
That's it. So what I like to think happened at that moment was he was actually just in the car park one in a zoo. Represent Haile Selassie.
Yeah, because it's just some legal thing that the press took down, like any world leader he mentions or whatever. Emperor Selassie, them. He was actually just singing along to dancehall. One in one.
On the 1st of November 1963, President Diem of Vietnam is disposed in a coup and later executed. So the Vietnam War is just about escalating too much. Yeah. And JFK has let know throughout his entire career he's not a big fan of the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
There's been this whole thing.
He's not a big fan of any sort of violence like that, is he?
Yeah, no.
He doesn't seem to be, bro. Apart from unless he's going to point a gun at you to let some dudes come to school. But that's kind of a fair enough one.
That's America for you, isn't it?
Well, they do like guns
I want
to
bet on this football.
They do like guns in schools, though, so yeah, that makes sense. And then we get to our date in history, bruv. 22nd of November, 1963. President Kennedy is assassinated. The official story by Lee Harvey Oswald in Dallas, Texas. Vice President Lyndon Baines Johnson becomes president, continues Kennedy's work in passing historic civil rights legislation.
Yeah, he basically smashes it, but it was Kennedy's warm-up for it.
Yeah, he set it all up for it.
His legacy.
Yeah. 24th of November, So after Lee Harvey Oswald has been arrested and everything, because he was arrested on the same day, Jack Ruby shoots and kills Lee Harvey Oswald at the Dallas police station, eliminating the possibility that Oswald could provide.
Case closed. That makes perfect sense and everything is fine.
Go home, don't worry about it.
There you go, folks. That was the assassination of JFK.
That's the whole episode done, bruv.
What are we doing next week?
But March 6th, 1975. 1975, so we're talking, what's that, 12 years after?
Yeah.
It's not until 12 years after, right, the ABC late-night television show Good Morning America shows the assassination of JFK with the Zapruder film.
Yeah.
Mad.
Was that when the guy was on the TV show?
Yeah, Dick Gregory.
Yeah.
Dick Gregory is a comedian. He's the geezer who bought the tape on.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
It's fucking wild, isn't it?
How did he get hold of the tape?
Time Magazine had it, and someone stole it out of Time Magazine, and he managed to fucking get a copy.
Nice.
Did you hear about recently? I think it's Logan Paul.
Go on.
Stole some UFO footage.
No way.
So like the guy said he'd show him to him and then wouldn't accept the price or whatever.
Yeah.
But he'd already recorded it on his phone.
Gangster.
And he showed him.
Gangster.
Which is the only cool thing he's ever done.
Yeah, that is pretty gangster. So before the Zapruder film came out, there's some other people had the Zapruder film on the November 29th, 1963. So after Kennedy was buried on the 25th, Lyndon B. Johnson establishes the Warren Commission.
Nice.
Who did he put in charge of that?
So I've got exactly that. The chairman of the Warren Commission is Earl Warren, ex-Chief Justice of the United States. Other committee members: a dude named Richard Russell Jr. He was
looked a lot like a mob boss.
He was the senator for Georgia. Now, this guy was a man who for decades was leader of the Southern opposition of civil rights.
Oh, fuck. He had a big cowboy hat and a white suit, bolo tie, Cadillac with bullhorns on it.
And he kept a white pillowcase with holes in it. In the back.
All his pillowcase had holes in them for some reason.
2 perfect eye holes every time. John Sherman Cooper, a senator. Richard Russell Jr. obviously has a reason he's not going to like JFK much then. John Sherman Cooper, senator from Kentucky. Hale Boggs, the House Majority Leader. Gerald Ford, the House Minority Leader and future President of the United States.
Yeah, Gerald Ford.
John J. McCloy, ex-president of the World Bank and chairman of the Council on Foreign Relations.
Oh, fuck. That's Hillary Clinton's uncle or something.
One other guy was on the commission. You ready? His name was Alan Dulles. I don't know if you reckon Alan
Dulles from Dallas.
I don't know if you reckon Alan Dulles from earlier in the timeline.
Can't remember what it was about, but he was a sneaky beaky. Was he the guy that took down Patrice O'Neill?
He was the guy who ran the CIA who JFK fired.
Motherfucker.
He was also on the Warren Commission.
That's fucking wild.
Good team, that.
It's a great team, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to know the basic 13 facts that the Warren Commission decided on the JFK assassination?
Go on, yeah. I mean, if
bullets
facts,
don't
they
melt.
must be true.
Skulls can go either way.
The shots which killed President Kennedy and wounded Governor Connolly were fired from the 6th floor window at the southeast corner of the Texas School Book Depository. Those are the only shots that were fired and killed him.
2 rounds within a millisecond.
3 rounds were shot and fired. President Kennedy was first struck by a bullet which entered at the back of his neck and exited through the lower front portion of his neck, causing a wound which would not necessarily have been lethal. The president was struck by a second bullet which entered the right rear portion of his head, causing a massive and fatal wound. That's 2 of the shots. The second shot missed. It was 3 shots. Governor Connolly was struck by a bullet which entered on the right side of his back and travelled downward through the right side of his chest. This is the guy sitting in front of Kennedy in the car, exiting below his right nipple. This bullet then passed through his right wrist and entered his left thigh, where it caused a superficial wound.
And then just fell out complete.
So this is the same bullet, apparently. Actually, I think it gets this in the commission. Number 4, there is no credible evidence that the shots were fired from the triple underpass ahead of the motorcade or from any other location.
No evidence.
There's
no evidence if you don't look for it.
No evidence. Just number 4, they just flat out said it. No, there's no evidence.
No, 0 evidence.
None. Sorry.
It's a bit like
So where'd you get that idea about the underpass and the grassy knoll? No evidence. Any of that from anywhere.
Is that not the same on the 9/11 Commission report? They just left Tower 7 out of it completely.
Yeah, they just didn't mention it at all. They don't bring it up at all, which is fucking ludicrous, bro. 5. The weight of the evidence indicates that there were 3 shots fired. 6. Although it is not necessary to any essential findings of the Commission to determine just which shot hit Governor Connolly, they're like, it's not necessary. We don't have to find out which shots hit him. We don't have to figure it out.
One of them did this, one of them did that. Tomato, bada bing.
Yeah.
There is very persuasive evidence from the experts to indicate that the same bullet which pierced the president's throat also caused Governor Connolly's wounds.
That's a magic bullet.
So they're claiming that a bullet which entered at the back of Kennedy's neck and exited through the lower front portion of his neck, then travelled into Connolly in front of him, entering on the right side of his back, and travelled downward through the right side of his chest.
Into the wrist, into the leg.
That's it. Out the nipple, on the wrist, on the leg, bruv.
You never heard of them, like, right-angle bullets, shoot round corners and stuff
Yeah, there's that movie, isn't there, Wanted, that terrible Angelina Jolie, which is based on a comic book. Yeah, he had one of them guns.
Change.
Yeah. A sonic bullet, bruv. So, yeah, they're saying... The Warren Commission said that's exactly what happened, bruv. Even though it's not up to us to find out which bullet hit you, Connolly, that's what happened.
Yeah, at least one of them done that.
yeah, all of that. However,
the one that didn't do the U-turn first is probably the most likely one. Is all we'll give you, mate.
However, Governor Connolly's testimony and certain other factors have given rise to some difference of opinion as to this probability, but there is no question in the mind of any member of the Commission that all the shots which caused the President and his Governor Connolly's wounds were fired from the 6th floor window of the Texas School Book Depository. So Connolly's like, no, that
didn't happen.
The shot that got me came from somewhere else, I'm telling you. And they're like, no,
it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Oh, you're being silly. Or your flimsy little body that just doesn't even break bullets. You weren't shot from anywhere.
7. The shots which killed President Kennedy and wounded Governor Connolly were fired by Lee Harvey Oswald. 8. Oswald killed Dallas Police Patrolman J.D. Tippit approximately 5 minutes after the assassination.
His fucking trigger finger, he's going wild, bro. He gets off 3 shots in a half a millisecond and comes downstairs, bang.
The creepy one with J.D. Tippit is his nickname. His nickname was JFK. Honest to God, in the police...
This makes me think MK Ultra.
Yeah, because this guy was a spitting image of John F. Kennedy.
That's wild.
And he was a police officer who Oswald apparently also shot. It's mental, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. It was just on Terminator mode. Anyone who looked like Kennedy.
Saw him again and was like, fuck!
Thought his own flashbacks or
something. 9. Ruby entered the basement of the Dallas Police Department and killed Lee Harvey Oswald, and there is no evidence to support the rumour that Ruby may have been assisted by any members of the Dallas Police Department.
Why would you say that? Don't be too specific when you're saying this sort of shit, bro.
10. The Commission has found no evidence that either Lee Harvey Oswald or Jack Ruby was part of any conspiracy, domestic or foreign, to assassinate President Kennedy. 11. The Commission has found no evidence of conspiracy, subversion or disloyalty to the US government by any federal, state or local official. 12. The Commission could not make any definitive determination of Oswald's motives. 13. The Commission believes that recommendations for improvements in presidential protection are compelled by the facts disclosed in this investigation. So yeah, that's what the Warren Commission decided after the assassination of Kennedy.
Mate, that's wild, isn't it?
Yeah. Think about who was on it too.
Yeah, exactly.
That gets me every time.
I'm thinking of that black guy that hated the civil rights, being like, not the black guy, sorry, the southern guy.
Yeah.
Him like begging him to be like, say it was a black guy, please. They were like, no. What do you mean there's no assassination attempts? I paid this guy $30,000. Shut up, shush. You don't understand why we're here.
There's here's the thing as well. When Lee Harvey was arrested, Harvey Oswald was arrested, when he was being moved about in jails. When the press did get hold of him at one point, they're all yelling, asking him about the president, and he has no fucking clue what they're going on about.
He didn't know that it had happened.
He didn't. Oh,
was he on a plane or something?
No, he was like being moved to prison. He was going. The whole time he was yelling, "I'm a patsy, I'm a patsy." And then when they asked him about the president, he was like, "No, I shot a police officer. I didn't."
No, he didn't say that. He said he punched a police officer.
Oh, did he say he punched?
That was in the cinema.
Oh, was it? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
And then he was going, I don't even know about the president. You guys, like some reporter a sec ago, it's the first time I've just heard about the president being shot. Yeah. I'm a patsy.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, son.
Yeah, he only ever actually got arrested for shooting the police officer.
For shooting the police officer. He was never convicted of.
Never actually even arrested, never charged or anything.
For the assassination of Kennedy, yeah. It's fucking wild. And Ruby.
That's mad.
Yeah.
I haven't really fucking looked into this one. I've just always taken it for granted. It's like
it's crazy.
It's an absolute
big one.
It's definitely either CIA or mobsters.
It's got to
the
be
way
like
I like to see it is like it was like Hitman Day.
Yeah.
Everyone hated him at this point. All the people on the Warren Commission, sort of, all those guys, and fucking
the mafia
maybe 100 million more, and the mafia and all that.
Cubans.
And, everyone was just out for him, and everyone got paid on that day. Because there's loads of stories about hitmen turning up, and fucking CIA were already there, and all that sort of shit. Everyone was in town bumping into each other.
Yeah.
And like, someone got put in jail with a mobster like fucking Epstein style as well. It was
really?
like the craziest day. It was just fucking all the John Wicks are in town.
Saying that, Woody Harrelson's father was there on the day.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you know. Yeah, Woody Harrelson's father is a famous hitman who not only was like just a natural born killer, he apparently had already done operations for the CIA in the past.
Yeah.
Him and two other men, an assassin group's apparently working threes, were arrested on the train tracks just behind the grassy knoll, literally next to the grassy knoll. I've been to the grassy knoll and seen the spot.
How close it is.
Ridiculously close.
So he was one of the free tramps.
He was one of the free tramps arrested there. One of the other dudes was also a guy who was ex-CIA, who also happened to be a tramp. They were all arrested as the free tramps on the rail tracks on the day of the JFK murder.
And what records were there about their arrest? Like, what
there was no.
That was there.
They got let out that day, and there was nothing reported and logged.
No.
Wild.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, they must have done nothing then.
Nothing at all. No. They were just there.
It weren't worth keeping that information.
The shots that came on from the grassy knoll, it being Hitman Day.
Did you hear about the... there was the rail worker. There was the guy dressed in the army clothes.
Yeah.
There was a guy dressed as a policeman.
Yeah.
It was a bit like the YMCA.
Yeah.
There was a guy, native Indian... No. It
was like Wayne's World. Position 1 to position 2. Position 1 to position 2.
Yeah, the rail worker, the army man and the policeman all stood up one side, basically behind the picket fence.
Yeah.
They never were seen ever again.
No.
So it was M3 plus the free tramps.
Yeah.
That was another three gangsters, yeah.
Yeah.
A babushka lady. Russians work alone. So you don't need three of them. No. Heard about the babushka lady
they're three
with
times
a fucking
more
magic umbrella or something.
There's the umbrella guy as well.
Yeah.
There is umbrella guy.
There is an umbrella guy. There's a guy standing. It had been raining that morning, but it already dried up. It's fucking Texas. But there, for some reason, there was one individual guy standing there with an umbrella out.
Did he also have his earpiece in as well? Was that?
I'm not sure if he had an earpiece in.
Yeah.
He could be well Men in Black. Well, talking of like the real Men in Black, his Secret Service, there is one gentleman named, let me get his name, I've got his name somewhere down here, a little bit further, Abraham Bolden. He was JFK's security guard. He was actually the first black Secret Serviceman handpicked by JFK.
Nice.
Yeah, and he tried to tell the Warren Commission about how he felt security was completely lax at Dallas on Texas, and another day, which I'll mention later, during the motorcades. There's even video footage of that day of him running up next to Kennedy's car before, like, earlier on in the motorcade, and then everyone in the Secret Service car behind him being like, "No, fucking come back, bruv. Just fucking leave him alone. Come back here with us, bruv."
Yeah, because there was a whole thing about taking the roof off, not having the dome on, and not having anyone behind the car. Wasn't
That's it. That's exactly it. And he brought this up to the Warren Commission twice, because he also mentioned the Chicago job, which I'll mention to you guys. And the commission completely ignored it. And then a few years later, he ended up being arrested and embroiled in a curious charge, and he was in prison for 6 years.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
it's crazy. I read a thing about the car had to stay at a certain speed. I think it was like if it dropped below 25 mile an hour.
Yeah,
they was all supposed to surround it in some sort of formation.
Yeah,
and it dropped below that a fair few times, a bit like what you were saying.
Yeah.
No one come anywhere near it. They just all sat back.
They all sat back, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. And then one of the times it must have been when Abraham Bolden probably ran out to do it, and everyone was like, "The fuck you doing, bruv? Get back here." They probably didn't call him bruv. They probably called
Boy!
him. Yeah, they probably weren't nice about it, bruv. They probably weren't nice. So, you know
And
what I mean?
now the fucking Warren Commissioner got the excuse.
Yeah.
Well, guess who was running the security?
Yeah, yeah.
Black guy.
Do you know I mentioned the Chicago plot?
Mm.
Yeah, there's so Chicago plot happened I think earlier on that month. JFK was in Chicago, and a dude named Lee called up as an informant and warned of 4 Cubans planning an assassination of JFK.
Fucking hell.
The Secret Service got the info, but they botched the secure job and only arrested 2 of the Cubans who stayed silent. But then the morning of that Kennedy was meant to be there, he cancelled after the Secret Service had swooped in and caught those boys. But there was 2 left out, so Kennedy cancelled. But then a gun-toting ex-Marine with a grudge for Kennedy was arrested.
Oh, shit.
His name
So
was
they're like, fuck, get back in the car, don't let anyone see him. Let's take him to Dallas.
Thomas Arthur Valley, who actually held a lot of similarities with Oswald. They had both worked when they were both in the military.
They're both in MK Ultra.
So Lee Harvey Oswald got up to some shit. I should have done his timeline a little bit before I mentioned this guy of the Chicago plot. But him and Oswald have got a lot in common.
Yeah.
A lot. A couple of things. They're both ex-Marines.
Yeah.
They both were stationed at a base where the CIA were working U-2 satellite image planes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
They were both stationed at places that did that in Asia. They both were like openly out vocal against JFK. There was some other things with it as well. They both had a job. They both had recently been moved to that city they were in at the time and been posted in a job at a tall building by a sharp turn where the exact motorcade was happening. Both of them. In the same, I think the month before, or in the same month as well, there's a Tampa plot. Not as many similarities, bar.
Was this the Miami one?
There was not as many similarities. No, I don't think it is. It's Tampa.
They're not next to each other.
They're
pretty
close.
yeah.
They're close.
They're on the same side.
Not as many similarities, bar the sharp turn and tall building on the motorcade route. So like a sharp corner with a massive building by it, with a suspected would-be assassin working inside the building.
Fuck me.
Secret Service threat sheets kept secret for years and only got posted in like 2006 about these 2 incidents.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, bruv. No one at the Secret Service ever mentioned this to the Warren Commission.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
See, there was I want to mention Miami because there was a policeman in Miami who I think he worked for Secret Service or maybe one step below.
Yeah.
And he used to go into people's properties and bug the places.
Yeah.
Like to get information, and he bugged some geezer's flat, and he heard a chat of an assassination attempt on JFK.
Oh shit! That's probably if the bugging happened, it could be the Tampa
So they're talking
assassin.
about him coming to Miami and it being carried out in Miami.
Okay.
But it never went ahead for whatever reason. But
Yeah.
he had tried to show that footage to people, or the recording he had to people, and it never went anywhere. It fell on deaf ears.
Fuck.
So when it happened, because I think that was a few months before.
The Tampa one was like a month or so.
A month or so before, yeah. So he tried to warn people.
Yeah.
And obviously, then when it happened, he was like, "Fucking hell!" Like,
Yeah.
he knew about it.
He had an inkling that someone was at least planning. Man, so many people must be plotting shit, but still, do you know what I mean? Like, the fact that none of these messages went to the Warren Commission when the whole reason that motherfucking thing was set up. So let's talk about Oswald, who's the apparent assassin from the plot by according to the Warren Commission. So Lee Harvey Oswald, on October 24th, 1956, he dropped out of high school and he joined the U.S. Marine Corps. He scored a rank of sharpshooter.
Yeah, so there's still like one from the top, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's not quite top. But here's the thing, he scored like a 203 or something, so relatively high as a sharpshooter. And then when he scored it again, he scored a lot lower.
Yeah, 190.
A few months later.
I think it was 191 he scored, and 190 was what you needed to get.
That was his second score.
Yeah.
His first score was a decent sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Then after that, he scored the bottom end of being a sharpshooter, which is like the middle group.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then after that, he ended up working in that U2 army base.
Yeah.
Yeah, so doing a lot of shooting, was he? It was a lot more intelligence-based. October 31st, 1959. Apparently Oswald had defected to the Soviet Union and is sent to work in an electronics factory in Minsk. That's fucking mad. Is this the whole time he's in MK Ultra?
Well, so I don't know if he's in MK Ultra 100% prop, but yeah, so he's been sent to the Soviet Union. He ends up marrying.
That's their cover story.
He,
he was kidnapped by the Soviets.
Yeah, he ends up
and
marrying
fed acid.
marrying a Russian woman and coming back. In the 60s, it's reported by a CIA trainer, David Ferry, who worked alongside Oswald at a base, also occupied by CIA operatives. So he worked alongside at the U-2 place. That Oswald had applied and helped with training of some of the Cuban exiles involved in the Bay of Pigs. So these are conflicting stories.
Yeah.
These hold up, he's convicting to the Soviets. Hold up, he's helping us train anti-Castro. It's fucking all over the shop. And then on top of that, spring 1963. Yeah, so the spring before JFK is assassinated, he's handing out pro-Castro, pro-revolutionary group pamphlets in US colleges. But he's stamping the leaflets with the date with an address in New Orleans, which is across the street from the city's CIA offices.
What the fuck?
And the office has the same building as an anti-Castro organisation inside it. On top of that, he was given the office by an FBI agent named Guy Bannister. And there's all paper trail documents for all of this.
This is fucking mad.
Yeah, this
is done to throw off the scent.
This is the would-be assassin. Also, 17 days before the assassination. So after all of that going on with this gentleman, you can imagine Oswald's probably got a file at the CIA and the FBI.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a file
100%.
on this fella.
Yeah.
17
He
days.
was known to the authorities.
Yeah, definitely known to the authorities, bruv. 17 days before the assassination, Oswald's file at the CIA for being a defector is taken off of the record, removed, and destroyed, despite it being a 4-year record.
Yeah.
Oh shit! So
They're watching him closely for 4 years. They're even
So he hasn't been away from the CIA his entire adult life.
Yeah.
He leaves boot camp,
Yep.
becomes a Marine in his stations with the CIA. Then he's got a building opposite the CIA, and then he's fucking getting chased by the CIA.
Yep. And 17 days before the assassination, his file is destroyed at the CIA. They were even reading his mother's letters, apparently. That's how deep they were watching him.
Fuck.
It's not important, though.
Yet the CIA denied they knew anything about Oswald to the Warren Commission.
Yeah, because they didn't have to report.
Yeah.
Did he have Catcher in the Rye on him?
The FBI also had a 4-year profile on Oswald as well, which on October 7th, mere weeks before the assassination, was downgraded. So they had like a alert record on him. Yeah, it's like keep an eye on this fella. He was on the security index. So basically, if something like a presidential speech or a motorcade would be travelling through that area, his name would flare up if he worked at a building nearby, and they would let him know, and they would make sure that he's not there that day. Well, yeah, on the October 7th, the same year, that Kennedy was killed on November 22nd, so literally a few weeks before, they took him off this list.
Yeah. That's fucking mad. It's too obvious, isn't it? And the worst thing about it is every time they go to declassify the rest of the files, they shit themselves.
Yeah, so Trump was meant to release some files, wasn't he? And he got told that it is of great security interest that some of these files not be released, so he kept some more behind again. Yeah. We're only getting them slowly, drip by drip. Yeah. We're meant to get all of them in 2029.
Yeah, but we were meant to get all of them in 21, wasn't it?
Something like that.
They were meant to, it was completely declassified by then.
Yeah, that was when Trump was meant to. No, since the beginning of time, 2029.
Oh, is it?
Since the beginning of the incident, it's been 2029.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's some fucked up things with Oswald.
Yeah.
As well. I've got some more general problems with the Warren Commission if you want to hear them.
Yeah, go on. Well, I was going to say, just with Oswald again, he was like, obviously Ruby killed him.
Yes. I've got some Ruby stuff as well.
On that as well. I was going to say they were.
No, go on, you go.
They were seen. I think it was just a week before.
Yes.
They were seen together in one of Ruby's strip clubs or something like that.
Yeah, because Jack Ruby, no mobster.
That's it. And because he used to do running for Al Capone, didn't he?
That's it, yeah.
So he was trying to find some more funding for his strip clubs or something or other. Yeah. And he met with some big old mafia boss. And apparently Oswald was there as well. Yeah. And that was witnessed by 3 women. One of which died mysteriously not too long afterwards, and the other one wasn't available for comment. And there was one who was left to actually say the statement, but no one ever wrote anything down witness-wise again. Obviously, it's not important.
Not important at all. Not important at all. Also with Jack Ruby, also I said like you were saying, we were saying he's a known mobster, right? Not only was he a known mobster, he was a confidential informant for the FBI.
Yeah. Oh shit! So they're all not only like associated and known to the authorities.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So they're already informants. They're already fucked up. They've already been around the FBI and CIA.
Yep, completely. Like their entire fucking careers. I've seen an interview with Jack Ruby, and I can't quite find it. I was looking for it now, quick. But he is sitting there in front of like a court of people. So there's nobody actually sitting behind him, but he's sitting in like a court. And he says like, yeah, there's some people behind this shit who I can't mention, who you guys who are very high up. And
he was begging to go on the commission, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Jack Ruby, I remember that. The mafioso, he's like, I'll tell you who it was, but you won't like it.
Yeah.
Basically, the whole trial.
Basically saying like, yeah, none of you guys will be able to fucking handle it. I'm not allowed to say. It's in great danger if I do say, and stuff like that. That's the guy who kills Oswald. So that's a little bit suspicious.
Yeah. But then, on that level, who could it actually be?
Well, we've only just discovered...
But the fact that Trump's scared, he was scared at the time. It's always been a massive conspiracy. Who could it have actually been? Because they would have known who it was then, because if it comes out, it's public and they know who. Yeah. And then we'd still know it to this day. I reckon... Who actually is in a position of power that's transcended that long?
I reckon this Errol Chavez. I reckon, brother. Alan Dulles.
But who is he?
CIA guy.
What's he doing now?
He was the head of the CIA before Kennedy fired him.
Is he like head of the WEF now or something?
He's dead now, isn't he, brother? He was old boy then.
Old, yeah.
Who did he pass his title to?
And then obviously, John J. McCloy, who was also in the Warren Commission, fucking ex-president of the World Bank, bruv.
Yeah.
Chairman of the Council on Foreign Relations.
But that could still be throwaway now, because that's the old commission, the old bank.
Yeah.
But is it more...
Nowadays it wouldn't have such an impact.
Is it more that they're keeping it secret because if they released who it actually was, and say for instance it was the government or the CIA, whatever it was.
Yeah. Well, the CIA is
obviously there's a lot of people who aren't like aware of conspiracies, things like that.
Yeah.
If they was to come out tomorrow and say, "Yep, JFK was killed by our own government," and da 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 da.
Yeah.
That would freak a lot of people out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it wouldn't freak us out if they was to come out tomorrow. It's all like that.
Or maybe it is the chain. Like we were working with these, who were working with these, who were
I
working
think
with
it's
these,
that.
who
I think it's
everyone
the
wanted
chain.
this. The whole world wanted this done, so we all come together.
I think it's the chain. I think it's exactly that.
Well, you've got
and like that's. I think they're all involved when it comes to JFK. I think the mafia were involved.
Yeah.
But the CIA and the FBI were involved with the
mafia.
mafia.
Same as the Bay of Pigs, they got used to do it. Same as the assassination of Castro, because it was Bobby, mafia assassins.
Bobby Kennedy exposed the mafia to the world, like we said a sec ago. The CIA and FBI are going to be pissed about that. Yeah. They didn't want the fucking rest of the population knowing about the mob.
It was almost like they all got together and decided that it would be advantageous for him
for both the Kennedys just to be fucking gone. Yeah, just let's get rid of them. Then we can go into Vietnam because Kennedy was trying to pull out of Vietnam the entire time. Then we can go into Cuba. Then we can do everything.
Even if like the mafia are on a different side to the CIA, who was on a different side to whoever, maybe even if they were warring, they had like a natural interest all in one.
Like Jan said earlier, Hitman Day.
Yeah.
They all turned up on Hitman Day.
Yeah, because it was all perfect, didn't it? Yeah. Everyone had booked it in on the same day, sort of thing. And they'd already tried it in 2 other cities.
Yeah.
So whoever that hitman was that was sloppy, that ended up getting fucking, what's his name, caught? The CIA informant, Oswald. He'd already tried it 3 times with different bods in the same way. Yeah. So maybe he's just the CIA one.
Yeah.
The FBI one was fucking the babushka lady, and the fucking YMCA was
the mafia and shit like that. Yeah, and the Soviets were the fucking free hobos or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you see how many future presidents were in Dallas that day as well?
Yeah. There was quite
4
a few.
or 5.
Yeah.
That's wild. What?
Obviously, it was Johnson was obviously there.
Yeah, Lyndon B. Johnson was there.
Bush Senior was there.
Yeah, Bush Senior was there. He was the head of something at the time as well.
Halliburton.
Yeah, I can't remember
something
wild. And then he got the CIA job as well.
That's it.
Before he became president.
Yeah. That's it. It was the CIA job he was just about to get when all that came down.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember who else was there, but yeah, I think.
Yeah, he's been photographed there on the day. Yeah, absolutely wild, bruv.
Obama.
Obama was there. Yeah, man. So that's all the notes I've got on. There's so much more to it. There's so many more cans of worms.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so
the
much.
fact it didn't even happen is what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, there was another
my
conspiracy. There was another conspiracy on. I think you can find it on Amazon called JFKX. It's one of the free Amazon documentaries, and you watch it. Why? Because it's some movie director guy or movie special effects guy, and his whole conspiracy is that the entire thing was faked.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, because if you watch the Zapruder film, it's not bad. He makes a convincing argument. If you watch the Zapruder film, there's two. We all know what cinema splices are. We've all seen Fight Club, where there's a little fucking cut and it's all been edited out and cut. Yeah, that's it. It's a Corey. There are two Corys or splices in the Zapruder film. And one of them is where he goes behind the roadside and then comes out, and the Warren Commission says in that video that's when he's been shot in the neck because he's holding his neck.
Now it's like a common thing when you get a spinal to fucking curl up like that, something like that. Isn't it?
So there's modern updated footage of the Zapruder film, where like digitally re-enhanced and all of that, like they do with everything nowadays. And when he's coming out, this special effects geezer is claiming that he's not holding his neck from being shot. If you look closely, he's actually putting on a squib. Yeah, because he's saying back then people didn't really know what squibs. There was maybe 4 or 5 people in the world that knew what squibs were.
Yeah, Blood in Films was pretty new as well.
Yeah. So he was like...
and obviously the American president would be one of the people who would have access to that
information.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's apparently putting on this squib. When Jackie's leaning over to check if he's all right, she's not actually checking if we're right. She's leaning over to pull the string for him, and then it explodes. But the video is also so cleverly cut out that when she's leaning over, the Zapruder film has got a cut at the bottom of it, so you don't actually see what her hands are doing when she's leaning over and talking to him. Yeah, and also the way how you can see this big blocky thing on his side of his cheek.
Like before his hand goes up, there's something already.
Yeah, there's something already side there and that, and then the way it looks afterwards, it's like very unauthentic looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I just thought that was
hilarious. And fucking
on
an island with Marilyn Monroe.
No, what happened after that was a few weeks after that, one of JFK's mistresses, who was the ex-wife of a certain Alan Dulles.
No.
Yep. Also was killed.
Fuck me.
So, and his claim is that they both faked their death to run away to live together. It's more of a theory that Alan Dulles hates JFK in my
yeah, he was after him.
Yeah, there was like crazy shit with Oswald as well. Like they lost 11 hours of interrogation
footage.
Yeah. Obviously, he never admitted it.
Yep.
And all of that shit.
We never touched on the magic fucking bullet.
The magic bullet, yeah, just sort of.
Yeah, we made fun of it for a little bit. But yeah,
we haven't actually spoke about that. So that's the bullet that apparently hits him through the back, goes through his neck, goes through Matey, hits his chest, hits his wrist.
Yeah. And where was it they found it?
On the gurney. It fell out.
Yeah.
On the way to the hospital.
That's it. It was even in Washington, where JFK's body had been illegally moved to, by the way. Wasn't meant to leave the state of Texas by law.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. They illegally flew it to Washington. And they were looking for the
bags on the way over or something like that.
That's a theory, yeah. They phoned up over in Washington like, where the fuck's this bullet? And apparently some nurse was like, let me go check the gurney. And they just find the bullet hanging out of the gurney.
Nice and shiny, wasn't it?
Super shiny.
Perfect.
Yeah. Didn't no damage to it.
Passed through several bones.
Hadn't done like 7 wounds on 2 people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then they've done modern ballistic tests, shooting at wrist bones. Just shooting a wrist bone alone fucks a bullet.
Yeah. Yeah, bullets are meant as spatter. They find like blood arteries and that. They turn into like blades.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. It's not to put a single hole through someone that's cauterized.
Yeah.
It's to get the shit stuck in them.
Shatter inside them.
That's what they reckon. So if you actually watch the footage, that other bullet didn't come from the back, did it?
I don't think it did when you watch this.
His head flies backwards and it fucking explodes.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a small hole. That's a fucking big old hole, exit wound. And the guys in Dallas were saying it was a medical guys who first got hold of him when he got to hospital. They were saying that the wound like that would have taken between 20 to 25% of his brain out.
Yeah.
And when they got him over to Washington, there was no brain left. And they're like, what the fuck? Where did his body go in between them? And it was like, had the autopsy been done properly, they would have been, and there was a brain there, they'd have been able to find out the direction of the bullet and where it come in from and all of this shit. but no brain, no fucking bullet parts, basically.
I've heard in the recent reports of the files, they've got reports of his brain, right, and they've got photos of it, but they were lost from the National Archives.
Oh, of course they were.
Oh shit!
So there's that footage, the files that came out recently with Trump.
Yeah.
In that they were saying, we had the brain scan, but we lost the brain scan.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Not like one of the most important brain scans in
the history of brain scans. Yeah. Not only that in the cadaver, when the cadaver was looked at in Washington, the autopsy.
Illegally.
Yeah, it shouldn't have even been in Washington. The two guys they had do it were working. One, they were working in a naval base, and they hadn't done a human body autopsy with a bullet wound in 2 years.
Yeah,
they hadn't touched it.
By this point,
that's it. And they asked the people who were in charge of the autopsy, "Can we bring a third person in?" They said no.
Fuck.
There was about, I think it was, I wrote down how many people were in the room at the fucking time and all.
Yeah, there was loads of generals and loads of other army people in the room during the autopsy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's 33 people logged in the autopsy room. Admirals, generals, Secret Service and all of that shit.
Yeah, and when the head guy doing the autopsy, he did what other doctors have said that they would never fucking do. He got rid of his first notes he read as he was doing it.
Yeah,
so not his notes where he's looking back and being like, so that could have been that and that. His first initial thoughts and notes. As soon as
what you see.
Then and there. Yeah, first impressions.
So he just fucked them off.
Yeah, he just fucked them off. As soon as the autopsy was finished, he burned them.
Yeah.
So a bunch of admirals and generals stood around, well, two idiots who ain't done an autopsy in years.
Yep.
And we're like, that's that, innit? Yeah, it must be. That's a hole in the brain, innit? What brain? Shut up. Right there. Now, what did you write down? No, burn it.
Yeah.
That was it, because they kept...
sorted, done. See you later. Everyone gets a Rolex.
Yeah, they kept directing them. There was like... There's no procedure to it. It's like the normal procedure that would be done in an autopsy, but they kept like pulling them from pillar to post. Like, no, look at this bit now.
Get this one first.
Yeah, get this bit now.
Skip a load of steps.
It's sort of like also to like... They felt like there was also to try and confuse them, to like lose where they were, like lose their bearings in their inspections as well. But there was like a metal tray of like bits of brain apparently, and a load of other medical bits and bobs on the side, and it was like never listed as evidence on the National Archive either. So all the bits that they pulled out of him and that never been accounted for.
Well, you got any more notes on it, my man? That is me noted out on the old JFK.
Yeah, mine's just more like the body being moved as well.
Yeah.
So the guy, again, the guys who had him in Dallas reckon that they wrapped him up in sheets and put him in a decorative coffin.
Yeah.
Then they put him on Air Force One, flew him up to Washington. Obviously, like you said, illegal. Weren't supposed to do that. By the time it got up to Washington, by the time the body got to that naval base in Washington, it was in a travelling like a transit coffin,
completely different,
and it was in a grey. His body was in a grey body bag. So like someone's been at it on the way.
Yeah.
And obviously, then they said they discovered there was no brain, but there was a brain there in Dallas, and no brain once it got to the other side. There's also pictures. I think there was pictures come out of the bullet wound.
Yeah.
The bullet wound in his head.
Yep.
And it was like showed like a tiny little hole.
Yeah, that's it.
Said, it would have been this type of bullets from this type
Whereas
of rifle.
the Dallas illustration of his body as it came into the hospital, the records from there, the drawings, the exit hole was fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like massive on the back of his head, but the photographs show it as a tiny little dot. And they've had experts look at it, and they had a doctor who was there at Dallas look at the pictures that were released, and he's going, it looks like they fucking glued a load of hair where the hole was.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Or it wasn't his head.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, there's that as well. May have been maybe a lookalike who also got killed on the same day. Similarly happened. JFK goes deep, bruv.
Yeah,
it's the ultimate conspiracy theory.
Why haven't I fucking dedicated my life to this?
It's a good one. If anyone's actually interested in it, watch that. Well, obviously that Oliver Stone one you said about.
Yeah, it's a good one. The new Oliver Stone one.
But I was enjoying. There was like an 8-hour one that I was watching. Ooh. Yeah, it's a bit of effort, but it goes deep. The Men Who Killed Kennedy.
Yeah.
It's like 8 parts. It was supposed to be 8 parts. So I found just a version of it all together.
Yeah.
And it's from 1988, so it's a lot closer. So a lot of the people that they're talking to were like either there on the day or they were involved somehow in the day. Obviously before they got offed or whatever. Clinton's, but because that was only 25 years afterwards when they done that documentary.
Yeah, so it would have been a lot of the people still alive.
Things. I mean, there was like some photos taken. Some guy was taking photos. He reckons he heard a bullet coming past his left ear.
Yep.
And he was standing by the picket fence. He'd already been told to move on from the bridge by some policemen.
Yep.
So yeah, he hit the ground, and then like some guy come over, basically took his camera off him.
Yeah.
There was a babushka lady reckons that she got her footage taken off of her.
That's
Other
what it was,
people are saying that she could have been involved in it, whatever. But yeah, she's had her footage taken off her. Yeah, and there was one picture they found of the guy who said that the bullet come past he was the guy who was dressed in the army stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then the other guy, the policeman and the rail worker, were behind him.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. He's told that story. Then in the documentary, they show him the picture that they found, and they've zoomed in and drawn like, could this be this? This is an outline of this.
Yeah.
And he gets all like shaken up, and he's like, "Oh, if I knew you was going to show me this, I wouldn't have done the interview."
Oh, fucking hell!
Oh, shit.
So when you were saying about the shot coming over from the fence, the Warren Commission end up arguing that there's direct witnesses to the shooting. Immediately rush en masse in that direction, like to the grassy knoll, and the Warren Commission are like, yeah, they're fleeing that direction. When in reality, the people who were there, who they've interviewed, all say, actually, no, we were running towards the grassy knoll to fucking grab the geezer who fucking fired the shot.
Yeah.
Gangsters.
Yeah.
Back when men were men, bro.
But how was that? The Warren Commission's like, they're fleeing, and then they spoke to the actual people, and they're like, no, we were trying to fucking get the motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's frenzy.
Yeah. And I've got some other more, right? So one of the guys in the Warren Commission, Hale Boggs.
Yeah.
I can't remember which position he held in it. Hale Boggs, he was the House Majority Leader.
Yeah.
So he was the Democratic House Majority Leader, the same party as Kennedy at the time, right? He as early as the 1970s, official members of the Warren Commission questioned its work.
Uh-huh.
Hale Boggs was one of the people who criticised the influence of J. Edgar Hoover, the historic director of the FBI from 1924 to 1972, who had centralised all of the information from the FBI agents before synthesising it and transmitting it to the Warren Commission. So fucking Hoover had a little, like, his own personal nit comb going through the fucking shit before it was sent to the Warren Commission, and Hale Boggs, pissed at that, weren't too happy.
Well, because he went to Dallas Police and basically took all their files as well.
Yeah, that's it.
He's like, oh, right, we're doing this.
And he got to be in charge of all that, and obviously Hale Boggs is like, and now we've got his fucking fine-tooth comb version for the commission. I'm pissed about that.
Yeah.
And then he ended up disappearing in an unsolved plane crash in October 1972.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah.
So we go on about the Clinton list, but like maybe there's another list before all of that.
Well, I think the Clintons are just probably the same part of the same fucking group and party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Satanists.
I think there's some Republicans involved.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, everyone's involved.
Do you know what I mean? They're all
but
involved.
The family always stays on that side.
Yeah, they're all involved, bruv. They're all involved in it.
There was a guy. He was on the documentary as well. He was a French heroin runner.
Yeah.
And
to be trusted.
He'd been used. He'd been used as a assassin before, I believe, but he was also he'd worked for like loads of intelligence agencies around the world.
Yeah.
His name was like Christian David or something like that. He claimed he'd been offered the contract to kill JFK.
Oh shit!
So he was in Marseille somewhere.
It was Hitman Day.
He got offered it, and when he got offered a job, and when he went and found out the details of the job, and they told him who it was and where it was, he was like, "Fucking crazy! I'm not doing that." But he'd worked alongside other guys in the past.
Yeah.
And he named a guy eventually called Lucien Certi, who got killed in Mexico City in '72. But they reckon that you got these exploding bullets.
Yeah.
And that most of the other assassins wouldn't use the exploding bullets because it left too much mess.
Yeah.
But there was one guy who always used these bullets on a job.
Oh shit!
And it was this guy, and they reckon that he was the one at the front
who shot the back. Headshot.
He was the only one who used exploding bullets because he liked the fact that it made a larger hole in their body. So he was a psycho, basically.
Yeah. And if you see the hole drawn on the autopsy of JFK, the one with the short autopsy that was done in Dallas, it's a big old fucking hole. Big old hole.
Yeah. Well, you can sort of see by the mess that comes out.
100%.
Yeah, that ain't a tiny little hole, is it?
Yeah, not at all.
There was another guy who corroborated the story of that French geezer,
Yeah.
was another guy called Michel.
Yeah.
And he claimed he'd paid the assassins in
Oh,
or
shit.
the assassins had been paid in heroin.
Yeah.
And he converted the heroin to cash while he was in South America.
Oh, sick. Shit, that's this. Is that the same French guy or not?
There's two French guys. There was one French guy. They found the intelligence guy.
Yeah.
And then he eventually gave that name of Michel. But they'd both worked as assassins before. They'd both done jobs. And then they both basically claimed that one got offered the job and the other one converted the money.
Yeah.
But neither of them were the shooters.
No, neither of them were the actual shooters. I'm just showing him a super HD of the Zapruder film. I still think it's wild that a fucking stand-up comedian is the geezer who fucking brings it to the national television. Dick Gregory is an absolute donny as well, bruv.
Yeah. There was also a theory about the car driver being the shooter as well.
Yeah.
And something to do with
fucking mad, bro.
Turning down.
I don't know now. Oh, that's even worse. I'd rather not seen it. She pulled the string, but his head also exploded.
It's all fucking in it, bruv.
Yeah. It's fucking, like, this is the age of coups as well.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about, they're trying to kill Charles de Gaulle and
Patrice as well.
him and Patrice and South America. Costa Rica had like 2 in a row.
Yeah.
I think it's Costa Rica.
Dominican
Republic.
We were just talking about
had 2 in a row.
How many times they tried assassinating Fidel.
Yeah, exactly. So all these guys are getting bored. Like, we can't hit Fidel, but I've got a certain set of skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's have a big old fucking day of it, shall we?
See who can hit the United States president. We'll all be there. All of us, just so happily.
Yeah, gambling's been made illegal in Cuba. That pissed off the mob.
There was another thing I was going to say about like the 6th floor.
Yeah.
About he was seen, I think it was just 5 minutes before, he was seen on the 2nd floor.
Yeah.
Then apparently the shots took place on the 6th floor.
Yeah.
And then, was it 90 seconds, was it, after the
Something
shooting?
like that.
I think it was 60 to 90 seconds after the shooting.
It's very soon.
He was seen again on the 2nd floor.
Yeah, by a police officer who was investigating the building.
Yes.
And it was shrugged off because the boss who was with the police officer was like, that's just Oswald, he works here.
Yeah, he works upstairs.
Yeah.
So,
and so that, but they did it.
Catcher in a row and drops acid. He's fine.
Like, you'd have thought he'd have been like banging out of breath. Like, he's just run up 4 floors.
Yep.
Shitting himself probably, taking a couple of pop shots at the president.
Yeah.
Knowing that he's probably going to get like.
And then run down the stairs.
Then run back down the stairs. Like
in record time, because they tested this and it was fucking quick for him to have to do it.
He's a Marine, bro.
Not only that, there is that police officer who met him is reported to have, and this is in documents, have bumped into 3 women also on the staircase. Yeah, during that same time period, right? Those 3 women, and I've seen the interviews of them chatting. These 3 Karens, but they're great. They have no reports of seeing Oswald on the stairwell. They deny seeing Oswald on the stairwell completely.
Oh, fuck, so they've just been brought into it out of nowhere?
Yeah. And
just because it lines up?
Yeah.
Who else works in this building? Yeah. Shelley see him. Who else?
Yeah,
Tracy see him.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, and they're all just like...
fucking corrupt, isn't it?
Nope.
There's nothing that is plausible.
No, none at all.
Like, even if you were into it, all this other stuff would outweigh that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'm trying to build up a conspiracy of my own.
Yeah.
And all you can land on is, it was a fucking free-for-all.
Everyone
was trying to fuck
for it.
everything up. Everything was fucked.
Yeah.
There's no truth in any of it anywhere.
It's all a complete fucking mess, bruv. It's I like to think of it as like almost the birth of conspiracies, because
it literally is. They started using the word conspiracy theories.
Oh, it is, yeah.
To talk about this,
yeah. But also like, it's one of the first you always come across. Like the first ever one I remember as a kid is Area 51.
Yeah.
That was literally my first Area 51. Just the idea of that, because even as a little kid, Area 51 was never confirmed.
Yeah.
The government never outright said it. Yeah. And in my lifetime, they've admitted it.
Yeah.
Once they cleaned it out and swapped it all over to fucking Skinwalker or whatever.
Once they got rid of all the alien pussy they didn't want us to have, bro. They fucking let us in. And I think JFK, we might find out in 2029, but that's a wild one. That was definitely one of my first after Area 51.
Yeah, no, I never got into it. Mine was Tupac.
Yeah, I never got into the Tupac assassination. I was more thinking about JFK.
Yeah. Oh, so I wasted a lot of time on Tupac, though. I'd say a good year, only YouTube videos I watched.
They arrested a guy for that recently as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he said P. Diddy paid him.
Yeah.
He's like the Irishman. He's the last one left out of the gang. Everyone else is dead or in federal prison for something else.
That's it, bro.
And he's like, yeah, I did it.
It's all me.
Did he do it? Did it?
But yeah, bro. Ross, you got any more notes on the old JFK
I'm
assassination?
just trying to fucking rewind through my head if I see anything else.
You can think of anything else. This is your last shout. Last port of call on what you think on...
Oh, the Umbrella Man was stopped.
Oh, yeah, the Umbrella Man. Go on.
Did you know why he was dressed the way he was dressed and why he was there?
No.
He's a gentleman.
He thought he was a massive fan of like Neville Chamberlain or something.
Oh, okay.
And that's like the way he dressed. It was like a protest.
Oh.
So the way that he was dressed, apparently.
Okay, according...
So he basically dressed up like Neville Chamberlain to protest the president, and that's the only reason that he was there.
Yeah.
Some shit like
That's
that.
funny
It
shit.
was like a funny little one. I was just like, why fucking Neville Chamberlain?
Also noticed a lot of people were pointing out how weird it is, right? That the only footage of the JFK assassination is the Zapruder film.
Yeah.
And there's no footage from any film network from back then. Dallas, Texas, at the time. Dallas is the capital of Texas, I think. and I think Austin might be actually. No, Austin is.
No,
Austin is.
it's Houston and Dallas are the biggest ones, isn't it? And
Dallas is
Austin's
pretty
like the
fucking
third city.
big, but I'm pretty sure Austin's the capital. It's got a giant titty building.
Mm.
Yeah, it's got a giant titty building
Town
for that
hall.
Congress building. Yeah, no, it is. It's giant pink round thing.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it looks
Titties.
like a Congress building, but it's pink, so it looks like a giant titty.
Oh, sick. Go
Yeah.
on, Austin.
Yeah,
You guys rule.
and yeah. So anyway, Dallas is still a pretty big city. They had one of every studio major network film studio, ABC, NBC, all of them. They all had a studio and a camera crew there.
Yeah.
But not one of them recorded JFK's trip in Dallas.
Yeah.
The
That's
only
fucking weird as well. That's another thing that doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
So we weren't meant to see it apart from the Zapruder film.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's taken from a shady assassination type spot as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
it's
could
taken from the
definitely shot
grassy
him
knoll,
from
bro.
there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
taken from
It's
the grassy
taken by
knoll.
the shooter.
Yeah,
Fuck me.
it's wild,
Because
isn't
you
it?
wouldn't needed proof that you'd done it.
Yeah, bro.
If it was fucking Hitman Day and everyone was there, it's like, how do you know you did it? Watch. Pew, mob down the
This is
camera
the
lens.
footage, cuz. Yeah,
Yeah, no.
absolute fucking batshit, bro. And we ain't even opened none of these booklets, but I think we're gonna have to call it there on our JFK assassination episode, guys.
Yeah, we're going to have to have a follow-up in 2029.
Yeah, in the meantime, go deeper, because it's fucking... It's
Yeah.
wild.
It is wild.
Yeah, I might have to get into this, explain all these thoughts I'm having.